Welcome to another edition of the Akashic Swan Guidance Weekly. We're looking at the week of September 20th through the 25th. So, I'm going to be using the illuminating journey cards that I created for the guidance of the Akashic records. I'm your host, Jen Duchenne of jenduchenne.com, Akashic Swan Guidance. I will mention that we do have a full moon on the 20th, 28 degrees Pisces. So that's a lot of energy connecting us to our deepest dreams, our deepest hopes, maybe our deepest fears or confusion. So we have the opportunity to step into something we're really desiring from a deep part of our soul, or to step deeper into our illusion, delusion, whatever. So it's an incredible opportunity. We also have the autumn equinox, or fall equinox, that typically happens around the 22nd. So it could be anywhere from the 20th to the 22nd of the month. I don't actually know which date it is. Haven't checked. Nevertheless, the autumn equinox is when day equals night. And so it's that opportunity to embody the late harvest, because this full moon is the late harvest moon. So it's the end of the cycle of production if you're in the northern hemisphere, and if you're in the southern hemisphere, this would be the spring equinox, and so the beginning of laying down the groundwork. So it's really fascinating how we have two halves of the whole in our world. We have the southern hemisphere, the northern hemisphere, and there's both things are happening at the same time. I think it's very instructional for how we need to live, is to realizing it's all happening. All of the extremes are being touched, all of the opposites are being touched, and kind of drawing us into that space of awakening, of awareness, of bringing our soul alive, and moving away from being in obedience to something external and becoming more connected to what is internal, and how we choose to use that internal in the external, because it's both, right? It's not one or the other. It's both. It's both light and dark, day and night. It's finding the equilibrium between two, what we think of as two opposites or two extremes, that allow us to find where we resonate. Let's look at the first card, and that is the 23. So I find this fascinating because, of course, it's a number 5, 2, and 3. This card showed up last week. So it's a continuation of this, or was it last week? I think it was. A continuation of this journey of the riddle, to engage with the riddle, to become at one with the riddle. And I feel like when I'm looking at the card this time, that the journey is taking us deeper into the mysteries, the mystery of the riddle, the mystery of the pyramids, the mystery of the things we can't understand, the spirit of the unknown, the spirit within us, the energy that rises within us. Sometimes we do things from lack of clarity about ourselves, or because we're in a hurry to have an answer, or maybe the external world is demanding that we make a decision. This card is asking us to take a pause, to change our response in how we deal with what we might think of as calamities or things that need immediate response, and to really begin to shift how we respond to what is external pressure, maybe internal pressure, and to take that deep pause. One of the most potent things about being confronted with a riddle, or the Sphinx, the riddle that comes with it, is the need for stillness, the need for discerning. Is this the right thing for me? What decision do I need to make? So we're not making something in a hurry. We're making it from a place of discernment. And the quicker we become attuned to our discernment, the easier it then becomes to know what we need to do and make choices. So the pause when we're confronting a riddle, when we're confronting change, when we are growing, when our soul is demanding one thing, the world outside is demanding something different, is finding that pause. The beauty of pause cannot be overemphasized. Taking a breath, sitting in stillness, feeling what is the right choice as opposed to just hurrying and making a decision without knowing. So I think that's really important to understand that this is an essential part of our journey right now and going forward. The second card is the 19, and I absolutely love that combination of the 23 of the 5 card, Soul Portal, moving to the 19, the 1 and 9, 10, that's a 1 going forward, where the figure who perhaps has been in pause is now leaping out of what has been. So this is definitely a card of change, but it's a card of recognition. So changing towards who you are, recognizing the power of who you are, and using that your abilities, your skills, your knowledge to propel you up out of what has been your playing ground into the energy of being activated by soul, the magic, the wisdom, the knowledge, the light and dark of your being, the absolute natural force of stepping into who you are or flying up into who you are, because you're so sure, having been at that place of riddle, having taken that pause before you leap into what is next and what is next and true for you. And very interesting, because we move from kind of desert energy into with lots of water, lots of the energy of what happens when you recognize who you are, when you recognize the choice you're making based on who you are. And then the third and the final card is the 8. And I just love that we have not only this level, a number coming up for the third card, but just speaks to what I was talking about, the equilibrium or the equinox, the idea that day equals night, or heaven equals earth, like the two sides of the piece, like as beloved, as above, so below, as within, so without. You know, it's the finding your truth between these circles of breath, 2 circles of breath joined together. And in that space, in this circle of infinity, in the center space, finding that equilibrium, that place where your ego actually serves your soul and your physical expression, is such a powerful place to be. So it's really is a wonderful opportunity that we're being shown here, is when we understand these things, that we must take the pause, we must embrace the riddle and take the pause. And when we're at that pause, we're gathering the strength to take action, which is what's happening in this card. This is the energy of the warrior within you, leaping up with the energy of who you are, with your soul, feeling the connection to the divine, to that essence of you being liberated, the sense of self being liberated, entering the flow of water in your next steps. What are you doing next? And then this showing us that in order to maintain that balance, that magic, to hold the energy between heaven and earth, the in and out, the above and below, is this, using the infinity symbol and remembering how you get to this place that then moves you through the circle. It's the pause, the awareness. These are the actions I must take to be at one with the journey I'm on. So expressing my soul self and doing it in a way that brings incredible joy and recognition to the self. I am doing this for me. I'm experiencing this. And then, of course, that showcases my leadership in the world, setting an example for others, living that truth and creating the pathway so others can take that path as well. So you're not dictating to others, you're not being dictated to, but you're choosing to be or experience heaven on earth, to be the soul in your physical body, to experience what it means to be in balance, to see all there is, and to choose the place and the knowledge and the actions and the liberation that truly allows you to express who you are. So this is about not being silenced, but not needing to speak about things or do things that are irrelevant. So it's kind of taking your energy away from maybe the distractions and to truly being embodied, your soul embodied, and experiencing and expressing who you are. So, very powerful time we're in, and I hope you are having an incredible experience, no matter what's happening, whether it feels terrifying, you feel like things are ending, you're out of control. Just knowing that when you follow those principles of taking the pause in the riddle, and then using that energy to push out into the energy and the flow of the divine while still being connected to who you are in this body, and following the line of the flow, symbol of infinity, you have created a rhythm, or you begin to create a rhythm that you can use going forward. Love to hear if you felt anything, saw anything, understood anything. Please share it with me. I love your comments, your likes. Follow to be subscribed to get my updates. And I have a free complimentary call coming up on Facebook on Wednesday the 22nd. So if you want to join me, I'll have the link below. Inviting you to have an experience with the cards, to learn about the one key thing you need to know in order to move into the unknown at this time. So I have the link below, and reach out if you have questions. Let me know how you're doing. Leave me a comment, and I'll see you next time.